Baraka Israel, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, all praises, glory to Yahweh, Hallelujah, praise Yahweh, may Kadash Yahweh rest upon you. And saying that, we're going to get straight into it. Understand that America is not a racist country. A lot of y'all think that America is racist due to the fact of the acts that was committed against the children of Israel or the so-called African Americans. Yet at the end of the day, this political game is not about skin color. See, so when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrat talking about Donald Trump, the Republican racist, they not talking about skin color. See, y'all like understanding of this political game and how this political game is being played out because see, understand, these politicians is playing out Yahweh prophecy. Yahweh prophecies are played out through these politicians' agendas. Do you understand me? See, so y'all like understanding when they say America is a racist country. And understand America is not a racist country. Okay, understand. A lot of nations come to America. Why? Because America is a capitalist country. It's the land of milk and honey. Why would other nations come to a racist country? That wouldn't make any sense. You understand me? See, so y'all like understanding of the terminology. Y'all like understanding of the political game. So what happened as a result of lack of understanding, y'all fall victim. Because see, y'all separate politics and religion. And throughout all my videos, I stated, you cannot separate politics and religion because this one legal system. You understand me? Y'all waiting on a political event to take place. You understand me? Religiously, y'all waiting on somebody named Jesus who don't exist, won't come out of the sky to save you when these political events take place. You understand me? See, so y'all like understanding of politics. Y'all like understanding of the biblical game. You understand me? Because life is based on politics. You understand me? But now understand that America is not a racist country. When you go into history, it shows you that America is not a racist country prior to the Jim Crow era and after the Jim Crow era. You understand me? Prior to the Jim Crow era, you had blacks that was in a position of power, that was in the politics. When you go into the history, the black base is known as the Republican Party. The Republican Party base is black. Do you understand me? Understand the American political system was already standing into play before George Washington, Columbus, and all these people that came to America. You understand me? See, so understand that you had 6 black men that were president before George Washington. Yet John Hanson is the first black president of America. Due to the fact of that when the states rebelled and the 13 gathered came to ratify the Constitution, they elected John Hanson. You understand me? Same way how George Washington was elected through the Constitution in 1788. The difference is that in the European history, George Washington, they had the governing political system structure. You understand me? Here's what it is. See, so but understand that in the European history, George Washington is the first president of America. Yeah, he's not the first president. Do you understand me? Another thing that America is not racist, and the proof is that even though Barack Obama may be Muslim or he may be African and whatnot, but he's dark in complexion. You understand me? And he was the president for 8 years because see, understand, a lot of us grew up not knowing that we'll ever see a black president because see, Jesse Jackson ran for president, I think in what? I think in the early 80s. Yeah, I think it was like in the early 80s, Jesse ran for the presidency. You understand me? It is what it is. Colin Powell didn't run because they wanted him to run as a Democrat, but Colin Powell is a Republican. You understand me? See, so you had a lot of black people that was in a position of power. See, so understand that America is not racist, and this game, this political game, is not about skin color. So America is not racist. After the Jim Crow era, you had blacks that came into politics, like Reeves, right? Reeves was the advisor to Kennedy. You had Shirley Chisholm, first female black woman Congress. Or you understand me? Barack Obama, the first black president of America. And then you had Kamala Harris, first black president female of America. You understand me? Now when you go to Chicago, New York, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, you're gonna see a lot of these blue states in the northern eastern of America. A lot of black people have power. You understand me? Johnson, Brandon Johnson in Chicago, he got power. The city council, they all black. You understand me? See, so understand, this is not America, not a racist country, because you have blacks that been in the politics. To this day, you still got the black caucus, but you don't hear about them. Like Claude, what's his name? Claude. He's a part of the black caucus, and I think what's the other lady that stepped out and she spoke, I think like a few weeks ago. I'm trying to remember her name, but yeah. Let me see if I can remember her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, and understand, okay, at the end of the day, America's not a racist country. You understand me? And y'all lack understanding, and y'all fall victim to the lies. Y'all fall victim to the deceit. So to where till you die outside of your faith, it doesn't matter how much you believe in the Lord, or you confess, or you were baptized. At the end of the day, y'all are separated from the Yahweh God through your religious teachings, because you lack understanding of what this political game is about, because it's all biblically related. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand that you have blacks that's in the power, and like Brandon Johnson, what happened? Here in Chicago, they elected him, and at the end of the day, the Chicagoans, them black people in Chicago, they receive nothing. You understand me? Same thing with that young mayor of what I think it was in Maryland. What's that young dude? He's a young black mayor, but he's a socialist. He spent $160,000 on an SUV and put police lights and shit all on that, splurging off the taxpayers' money. You understand me? While a lot of other mayors, they car costs about what, $60,000, $75,000. This man costs up $100,000. Same thing with Tiffany Henry, super mayor. What happened? She came in the Dalton and ripped all them niggas out. I mean, all them black people off. You understand me? See, so understand that you have a lot of black people that are Marxists and communists. You understand me? Michael Jackson is a Marxist. You understand me? Martin Luther King is a socialist. Martin Luther King was part of that Marxist movement. Do you understand me? Because a lot of these black leaders are part of the black establishment. Do you understand me? The black establishment, the black elites is funded by the white elites. Stephen A. Smith is funded by the white man. Roland Martin is funded by the white man. Joy Reid is funded by the white man. Abby Phillips, her CNN is funded by the white man, because CNN is part of Illuminati Corporation. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so this is not about skin color. You understand me? And in fact, let me go into the book of Nehemiah. And I'm gonna start at 1. Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people of their wives against their brethren, the Jews, against their brethren. Why? Because you had these black wives married to these black politicians, and these black politicians is in office. You understand me? Michelle Obama is black. Barack Obama black. Her kids is black. You understand me? You got a lot of black politicians, and their kids are black. You understand me? Let's read that again. And there was a great cry of the people of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. And that was a great cry, meaning that symbolically talking about a great protest, a great movement, like in Chicago. You understand me? They are Democratic state, right? A Democratic county, heavy blue. Now they want to go red because they found out that black people ain't nothing. Black people ain't shit. Put it like this here. See, understand, I made a video about this. The devil is not the white man. The devil is the white man, and the devil is the black man too. Because the black man lie and deceive you quickly. You understand me? Before the white man will. Because that's the white man nature. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so you have to understand the biggest racist people on this planet, if racism was to exist, would be black people. You understand me? It is what it is. Blacks are the more racist people on this planet. Because everything they do, they holler racism. When they don't get their way, they holler racism. Do you understand me? It is what it is. See, so that great cry out, that protest, like in Chicago, like in New York, they getting ready to do. And they already started when they spoke out against Madami, because when he came in office, he talking about raising property taxes. You understand me? Brandon Johnson, them people woke up on the in a nice neighborhood, woke up with property tax increase of 9-10%. You understand me? $2,000-$3,000 extra. You understand? It is what it is. See, so understand that at the end of the day, you have black people that was in a position of power that's here in America that run America. You understand me? America been running with the white man. Why? Because the blacks and white been working together for years. You got the black caucuses. You understand me? When you go to Harriet Tubman in that movie, you're going to see when she went into the Hall of Fame, at the end of that movie, she seen black men and white men. Like that movie Glory. What happened? What's his name? Colonel Shaw. That he pulled the Colonel Shaw, right? What's his name? Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman was the colonel, right? I mean, not the colonel, but the sergeant. But he played the son of Frederick Douglass, because Frederick Douglass' son joined the Union Army. Do you understand me? So when you go in that movie, you see the black man, Frederick Douglass. And then you see a couple of white men with Frederick Douglass. You understand me? See, y'all don't understand. The white man, the Esau, is the brother of Jacob. Jacob is the brother of Esau because they came out of the same womb. You understand me? It is what it is. That's why you always see Jews, these fake Jews, along with the black community. And you're going to see the black community along with the Jews mixed together. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. So that great cry out protesting. You understand? Let's read that again. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren the Jews. For they were that said, we our sons, our daughters, that we may eat and live. Let's read that again. For therefore were that said, we our sons, our daughters are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. Meaning that y'all protest, y'all go out and y'all knock on doors, y'all pass out flyers. Today time y'all get on the internet, then y'all make podcasts and whatnot. You understand me? Promoting these agendas, promoting to go out and vote for these Democrats. You understand me? Knowing at the end of the day, the white Republicans and the white Democrats, they're on the same team. The whole goal is to enslave you, so-called African Americans, because you are the children of Israel. They already know this through biblical prophecy. You understand? Verse 3. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our land, vineyards, and houses, that we may buy corn because of the dirt. And that dirt is that little drought like with the COVID. You understand me? You had the shortage of supply and demand with toilet paper and cleaning supplies. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Verse 4. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards, meaning that y'all took out government loans. You understand me? Just like how they take out these health stimulus packages, health stimulus once a month, check that y'all can get. You understand me? But at the end of the day, all that shit got to be paid, and they're gonna take all their money back, because y'all don't understand the banking system and understand this political game. You understand me? See, these other nations pay politicians to do their work. The black people don't pay politicians because they ain't got no money. So the politicians get no money for the vote. You understand me? And exploit the black community for their vote because they lack understanding of the political game and the terminology that they use. Racism, bigotry, discrimination, DEI, all those ain't nothing but political weapons, philosophical weapons of war that they use to divide and conquer. You understand me? Because racism don't exist. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so y'all like understanding of the terminology that they use. So y'all fall victim and die in idolization. Because idolization is not just about the images of Caesar Borgia that goes back to Serapis, to the Platonymies. You understand me? Worshiping is an act of obedience, and y'all obey the physical nature. Whatever it is, whatever the eyes see and the eyes want, y'all obey it. Because y'all don't understand, the church do not teach obedience. The church don't teach the commandments. Do you understand me? The church focus on the social issues of life, because out of the heart flows the issues of life. Do you understand me? Those issues are social issues. You understand me? Housing, employment, education, etc. Do you understand? Hey, let's go back and read Nehemiah 5, but let's start from the beginning. Nehemiah chapter 5 verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people of their wives against their brethren the Jews, for there were that said, we our sons and our daughters are many. Therefore we take up corn for them that we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our land, vineyards, and houses that we may buy corn because of the dirt. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king tribute, and thereupon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. Meaning that when he say the flesh, he talking about the physical nature, but he talking about the identity. We are Israelites. Do you understand me? You have a lot of Israelites that's in the power. You have a lot of black Israelites that's part of Illuminati. Yet you have the black Israelites, they are Hellenized. You understand me? It is what it is. That's why it's not about the nationality of waking up. It's about the elect of that nationality waking up. You understand me? Because he put an end to that heritage. You understand me? Because of the philosophical nature of man. You understand me? See, so when he says our flesh, he's talking about the Israelites. You understand me? Because see, when it says the flesh, we're talking about that covenant with Abraham that he established with Abraham, Isaac, and confirmed it in Jacob. You understand me? See, so when he said our flesh is our flesh, meaning black, meaning that we are Israelites, we are dark in complexion. Michelle Obama and his kids, they are black. You understand me? Brandon Johnson, his wife in Chicago is black. His kids is black. Sonny Holston, she claimed to be black, but she's straight white because her family owned slaves when they moved from Spain to Puerto Rico. Yeah, she married a black man. Her son is black despite of her being mixed. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand this political game is not about color. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Verse 5. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought into bondage already. Neither it is in our power to redeem them, for other men have our land and vineyards. Meaning that these politicians came and took everything that you got through socialism. Because see, understand, socialism means to extol and communal ownership, confiscation of private property. And same thing what Brandon Johnson is doing, same thing with in Chicago, and the same thing what Madani doing in the city of New York. Do you understand me? See, so understand that this political game is not about skin color. So when they say American racist, they're not talking about skin color. They're talking about the attack against America, the attack against capitalism. It's an attack against Yahweh God. It's a political weapon that they use. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that when they say America is racist, they're not talking about the skin color. They're talking about the system of America. Do you understand me? Because the system of America is ran by the so-called white man. You understand me? Called it corporate America. You understand me? Now understand racism is attacks capitalism. Do you understand me? Racism attacks capitalism. Now understand you have a lot of continents and countries that's on this planet. Yet Australia, Africa, a lot of Africans countries, their market is built off of capitalism. Yet Australia them they have a free market. See, America is the only country on this planet that's a capitalist and a religious country. Do you understand me? America is known as Babylon because it's a religious country, and Babylon is a religious governance system known as the gate of gods. You understand me? Prior to monotheism, you have polytheism religion. You understand me? And when mono came into play, do you understand me? See, so understand, although it's a monotheism, a belief in one God, yet America is still Babylon because it's still the gate of gods. You understand me? Because America idol worships, just like the Babylonians and the Romans. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that this is not about skin color. It's about socialism. And a lot of black people practice socialism. Do you understand me? It's a socialism, right? That black people practice, and they take everything that you got. Do you understand me? Let me go into the book of Lamentations. Let me get 4 and 17. Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes yet for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Meaning that it doesn't matter how many black people that y'all come together to resurrect. Martin Luther King, Maya Angelou, Malcolm X. It doesn't matter what civil rights black leaders that you put in the power. You understand me? It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to save you. At the end of the day, they can't help you. You understand me? Say like y'all voted for Barack Obama because he was the first black president. But when he came into power, what he did? Nothing for black people. Y'all received nothing because they already told them. You understand me? The reason why Donald Trump is racist now is because when he came down and stuck his hand out to the black community, you understand me? They call him a racist. Why? Because the government already knew that we are the children of Israel. Because these politicians, they read the Bible. Nancy Pelosi, Catholic. Barack Obama, Muslim. You understand me? Mike Johnson, Christian. You understand me? See, so understand the Christian Catholic Church, the Catholic Christian Church, they know that we are the children of Israel through biblical prophecy. Because the Arabs and the South Africans sold us to these people. You understand me? See, so understand that America not racist. You understand me? Let's go back. Lamentations 4 verse 17. As for us, our eye yet for our vain help. And now watching, we watch for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, our end is come. Meaning that y'all destroyed your own self. Y'all put it into your own self. Y'all enslaved your own self through legislations. You understand me? Through democracy and legislation, y'all enslave your own self. Because see, in order to create freedom, you have to create legislation. You understand me? And while y'all creating legislation for that freedom, you enslaving your own self through the creation of legislations. See, you understand me? See, so y'all like understanding. That's why in Jeremiah 4, where they say, my people are foolish, they sottish, because they lack understanding. You understand me? So y'all don't know Yahweh God. Y'all don't know what y'all worship. Y'all don't know what this political game is about. It's all biblically related because y'all like understanding. And the church is not designed to teach you. You understand me? Yeah, it keeps you in idolization. That's why Christ saying, Yahweh Shai saying what, Matthew, where he say that gate is wide and broad is that way. Because y'all don't understand this game. And y'all just walk straight on inside that gate. You understand me? Despite of your baptism, despite of your fringes, despite of your belief system. Do you understand me? See, so understand that it doesn't matter who you get. It doesn't matter what person you put in the power, because this is not about skin color. Do you understand me? A lot of these people are Marxists. You understand me? And they into socialism. Do you understand me? The enslavement of man economically is communism, bureaucracy, and socialism. You understand me? Socialism is an economic enslavement theory. You understand me? Communism are small country theories. Do you understand me? Bureaucracy and communism is the same agenda. It's government control and takeover. Like for instance, when the Democrat was in office, they control what? All three branches of government, right? The legislation, the Senate, and the House, right? They controlled all these levels of government. Now, when that COVID was into play, what happened? They used OSHA as a governance system to implement these mandates, vaccination. They used the ATF. They used the FBI. You understand me? See, so understand the FBI, the ATF, and all these people are one organization that works for the government. You understand me? See, so understand when it comes to the Constitution limits the powers of the federal government. Do you understand me? See, so when the other nations look at America, they see freedom in America. Yeah, y'all like understanding and y'all voting against freedom. So y'all enslave y'all own self because y'all say America is racist, and it's not racist. It's an attack against God. It's an attack against capitalism. Do you understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that, like when you go into the time clock on your job, in whatever business establishment that you work at, you're gonna see a bulletin board with nothing but policies and regulations. You're gonna see the labor laws. You're gonna see the EEOC. You're gonna see the Department of Labor. You're gonna see all these legislations. All that legislation goes against America. All that legislation deals with racism. You understand me? So y'all like understanding of what this political game is about. So at the end of the day, y'all end is come. Y'all days are fulfilled because you lack understanding of what you're voting for. Same thing with Chicago. They had Mayor Lightfoot, a black woman, lesbian. They got rid of her and put a black man in the power, right? He's black, she's black, but they got the same agenda because they are both socialists. You understand me? See, socialism, a lot of black people's into socialism. A lot of black people into communism. Do you understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand, America is in an economic war when they call it racist. You understand me? Because they know that the children of Israel is here in America. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so these politicians already know who we are as a nation, as a people. You understand me? Let me get Deuteronomy. Let me get Deuteronomy. Let me get Deuteronomy 32, and then I'm gonna start at 21. Deuteronomy 32, verse 21. They move me to jealousy, that which is not God. They provoke me to anger with their vanities. Now, vanities is emptiness. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. And those not a people, talking about those Gentile nations, but the one that's not a people that's in the power is the nation of Esau. You understand me? Because Esau, that's a foolish nation, along with these other Gentile nations, due to the fact that they don't know the commandments, because they was never given or never taught the commandments, because the children of Israel followed them, and they went into slavery religiously and economic enslavement. See, so understand, these politicians already know the play. That's what Kamala Harris said. Kathy Hochul said. Them black people don't know how to use a computer. They don't know how to have no laptop. They don't have the resources, because they already know that the black America is in economic and religious enslavement. We are the children of Israel. These politicians read the Bible. You understand me? It is what it is. Let's read that again. They move me to jealousy, that which not of God. They provoke me to anger with their vanity. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people, and I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Meaning that we are jealous, or we are provoked with anger because they in power and they are wicked. You understand me? and they using this wicked system to make a mockery out of Yahweh God, to make a mockery out of your faith system that you claim that you believe in. They violate the commandments left and right. You understand me? It is what it is. Verse 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountain. Why? Because the earth is going to burn. Do you understand me? Let me hold that. Let me get let me go to Isaiah 24, I believe, right? Let me get 24, and let me go to verse 5. Isaiah 24, verse 5. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken an everlasting covenant. Therefore the curse hath devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolated. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and the few men left. Because this earth will come to a close. Only the elect is going to be saved. Everything else is coming to a close. You understand me? Let's go back. Deuteronomy 32, verse 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increases, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischief upon them. I will spin my arrows upon them. And those arrows are those prophecies. Those arrows are those curses. You understand me? See, so understand, America not a racist, because Yahweh God is not a racist. Now, the closest you're going to get to racism is to respect the person. See, so when you go into James, what? I think James 2, 1, 2, and 3. You understand me? I think what? 2, 3 to 4. You understand me? That's impartiality. Do you understand me? Racism is impartiality. Racism don't exist, but it exists through the indoctrination because y'all teach it. Yeah, it's impartiality because, see, understand, racism, bigotry, discrimination, DEI has no relation to the scriptures. You understand me? So the closest you're going to get to that political definition of racism and discrimination is to respect the persons. And Yahweh God is not a respect of persons, because the uncircumcision and the circumcision, they all going to receive they already going to see what they deserve, because he going to pay you back what you deserve. So he's not a respect of persons, and a lot of Israelites teach that and they go off due to the fact of that Israel is chosen out of all these nations. Yet understand that Yahweh God is not a racist, and a lot of Israelites, a lot of these main camps teach that, and they are wrong. They are false. So y'all have to understand and understand when y'all watch these camps. Do you understand me? Because a lot of these camps are just like the Christian church. They don't know the truth. You understand me? They just know the physical nature of being Israel, but they don't know this political game and how it's all biblically related. They fall victim to the Christian church when they get into debates. You understand me? That's how I know that a lot of Israelites, main camps, they not into this truth. You understand me? They just like the church. You understand me? They are separated from Yahweh God through their teaching. I don't care if they say Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Rakadash. You understand me? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is not about the nation of Israel. It's about the elect, because you have to be chosen for this. You understand me? Because, see, this is what y'all have to keep in mind. Life, your faith, everything was already written long before the foundation of the world. Do you understand me? Okay, in fact, let me get Proverbs 8 and then go to 22. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old, meaning that we are in his old, because Yahweh Shai came and fulfilled biblical prophecy and he went back. You understand me? So we are in the works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. From the beginning, or ever the earth was. You understand me? See, so number one, you have to be chosen for this. You understand me? See, so your name is not in that book of life. You're going to worship the beast. You're not getting into that kingdom, because the kingdom is for the elect, and the elect names are written inside that book. If you die right now, your name is either in that book or not. Because, see, understand, death is inedible, for the wages of sin is death. You understand me? See, so when he spent them arrows, when he spit those arrows or send those arrows, he talking about those curses. Because those curses going to come, and they're going to complete this prophecy, and they're going to come back. That's why Yahweh God say, nothing, what goes out of his mouth don't come back void. You understand me? It is what it is. Let's get back. Deuteronomy 32, verse 23. And I will heap mischief upon them. I will spend my arrows upon them. They shall burn with hunger and devour with burning heat and with bitter destruction. I will also send teeth of beasts upon them, with the poisonous of serpents of the dust. And what he talking about, the beast, he's not talking about actual animals. What he talking about is those other nations, because those other nations ruled over the children of Israel throughout history. You understand me? So when he said beast, he's not talking about the animal beast. He's talking about man beast, because, see, man and animal was created on the 6th day. You understand me? So when he says the serpent, it's basically talking about that snake Leviathan. Do you understand me? And you have a lot of people that's on the seashores or the south coast of these continents. On the waterfront of these continents. Like America, you have the majority of people stay on the eastern of America in the Atlantic, and then on the west coast. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so what he talking about? He talking about burning. He talking about bitter destruction. He talking about economic. Life becomes hard. You understand me? Let me get Deuteronomy 32. Let me get Shalaki. Let me go back to 28. Let me get Deuteronomy 28, and then let me get to verse 23. Deuteronomy 28, verse 23. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of the land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Meaning that life is hard. You understand me? Outside of the commandments, life is hard. Yet, understand what y'all worship. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me get back. What was it? Oh, 32. You understand me? It is. So when he says them beasts, he's talking about those politicians that's in the head. You understand me? Those civil rights leaders. You understand? Those are the teeth of the beast, and the poisonous of the serpents of the dust. Verse 25. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin and the suckling also, with many, and also with the man of gray hairs. Meaning that that sword is going to be without, and that sword is going to be within. Meaning that sword is going to be on the outside. Meaning talking about economically, religiously, politically, and culturally. He talking about that system. That system is the sword. Because that system used to cut you like a sword can cut you in half. The system can cut you into pieces. You understand me? Because understand, the system is a political weapon. DEI, discrimination, phobic, racism. These are weapons of war instruments. Do you understand me? See, so understand, America is not a racist country. Y'all like understanding, because this is not about skin color when they say America racist. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. I did a video about that America being Egypt because it attacks the capitalism. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Because the children of Israel is here in America practicing capitalism. Because it's freedom into capitalism. You understand? It is what it is. Let's finish up verse 26. Deuteronomy 32, verse 26. I said I would scatter them into the corners, and I would make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men. Now let's read that again, verse 26. I said I would scatter them into the corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men. Meaning that all these nations look at us, they don't see the children of Israel. You understand me? See, so when we come and tell you we are the children of Israel and we are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks about. You understand me? Because what they do is they reject it. The so-called African Americans, when we tell them they Israel, a lot of them reject it. A lot of them are join and accept that they are Israelites because they think of it as a cult, like Illuminati. Thinking that they are saved because they God chose it. It don't work like that. Do you understand me? Because you got to be chosen. You understand me? Like Yahweh said, I know whom I have chosen. Go back into what Paul said. When Yahweh resurrected, he didn't show himself to everybody, only to those that were chosen. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so learn and understand what y'all worshiping, because see, at the end of the day, through a lack of understanding, y'all become enemies to Yahweh God, and y'all are enemies to Yahweh God. You are separated through your religious teachings. You understand me? Let's read verse 26 again. I said I will scatter them into the corners, and I will make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men. See, so when you're talking about the children of Israel, you're always going to have that debate and that argument of who are the children of Israel. I told that to one dude and showed him and proved it, yet he's still in disbelief. A lot of y'all don't believe y'all are Israelites until that so-called white man come and say, you know what, y'all are Israelites. That's when y'all gonna come to realization. That's how y'all are democratic, liberal-minded people. Because see, a democratic-minded is a monkey see, monkey do person. See, whatever the white man say, y'all do. Because y'all into democracy. Democracy is a view. It don't promote freedom. You understand me? See, so when they say our democracy is under threat, it's their ideology is under threat. You understand me? Freedom is in the capitalism. You understand me? let me go to the let me go in the Apocrypha, and let me get Second Ezra, and I'm gonna get 2 and 7. Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 7. Let them be scattered abroad amongst the heathen. Listen. Let them be scattered abroad amongst the heathen. Let their names, listen, let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. See, so he wiped Israel's name out of the history books. That's why you always going to hear about the lost tribes, or the 12 tribes, or the lost 10 tribes. You understand me? Because the 10 tribes went into slavery. You understand me? Judah and Judah stayed. Judah and Benjamin stayed. You understand me? See, so at the end of the day, he stripped Israel of their nationality. You understand me? For idolization. And to this day, y'all in idolization, but y'all don't understand it. Because through y'all religious teachings. You understand me? Y'all are separated. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 32, and then let me get 25 and back down. Deuteronomy 32, verse 25. The sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. And the sucklings are kids too, because kids are suffering too economically because of the parents. I said I would scatter them into the corners and would make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men, meaning that their name will cease from amongst men. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand what y'all worshiping. Understand that America is not a racist country. And in fact, let me go to Deuteronomy 28, and let's get to 68. And then let me get 68. But before I get Deuteronomy 28 and 68, I'm gonna get I'm gonna go up to I'm in chapter 28. I'm gonna go up to verse 48. I think I'm gonna go up to verse 48. But then again, I'm gonna hold that right, and I'm gonna finish up Deuteronomy 28 and 37. I'm gonna get 68, but I'm gonna go up to 37 and get back down. Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword amongst all the nations where the Lord shall lead thee. Meaning that when you hear brown, black, color, those are substitutions for our nationality. Those are political weapons of war that cause division. It's a divide and conquer strategy that they use, because the whole game is about slavery. You understand me? Because life is based on slavery. You understand me? The kingdom is based on slavery. You understand me? It is what it is. Life is enslavement. You understand me? Because you have one nation enslave another nation when they get conquered, religiously, politically, economically, and culturally. They become slaves. You understand me? It is what it is. Let me go to Psalms 44. And I'm gonna get 14, right? Psalms 44 and 14, but I'm gonna go back to Deuteronomy 28, and then I'm gonna go to what I have. I said what, 47? Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Oh, matter of fact, let me go up to verse 45. Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Meaning all these curses going to come until they put an end to you. Religiously, economically, politically. Meaning that you have no hope. You understand me? You have no hope to where you can commit suicide because you have no hope. You understand? It is what it is. Because thou hearest not the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Meaning that your kid's going to be called color, brown, nigger, negro, your great-grandkids, then your great grandkids, and then your great grandkids, and then your great 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 grandkids, and your great 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 grandkids. Meaning that it's an ongoing process. We gonna be cursed until that second Exodus take place. Do you understand me? Ain't nobody gonna buy you out this curse. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Do you understand me? So you always gonna be an Israelite. Nations always, regardless of whatever generation it's into play. They're always gonna treat the children of Israel, whether it's in the year 3050. You understand me? They're gonna be still the children of Israel, and they still gonna be treated harshly. You understand me now? Being treated harshly, that is not racist. That's not racism, and that is not racist, because blacks been enslaving blacks from the beginning. Whites enslaved whites. You understand me? Nations enslaved nations. So slavery ain't nothing new. Slavery don't deal with skin color. You understand me? It's just that this skin color, black, brown, racism are modern terminologies. It's a modern terminology that they use to go to war against Yahweh God. Because see, understand, the spiritual battle is played out politically. You understand me? So when you go back to Daniel 12, where he said that the book is closed, and when you go down to verse 10, you're gonna be some gonna be purified, made white, and tried. You understand me? Because these agendas are gonna play itself out. These events is gonna play itself out. You wanna have something that's gonna wake up and understand. You understand me? It is what it is. Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Let's go to 46 again. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst. And what he's talking about is economically. You're going to be hungry, you're going to be thirsty economically. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that racism attacks economically America. You understand me? By calling it racist, you attacking capitalism. Let's read verse 48 again. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and nakedness and the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou be destroyed. Meaning that those chains was to put an end to you. Say like when Kuche Kente was getting whooped, right? And they cut off his feet, right? Now, at that last very whip, he answered to Toby. He was no longer Kuche Kente. Do you understand me? See, so that them chains and them whips was to destroy your nationality for who you are. You understand me? Because you're not an Israelite. Because you didn't keep the commandments. You wanted to follow other nations, so he put their ass in religious, economic enslavement to a foolish nation. And to this day, we under a foolish nation. Because they think that his name is Jesus, and Jesus and God is one. You understand me? It is what it is. Think that you can believe in God and think a white man gonna come out of the sky and you can violate his commandments. You can believe in God and be baptized in God and go to church of God and wear tight pants and a pocketbook. You understand me? Y'all can eat pork despite of your baptism. Y'all can go on and eat pork despite of your clapping and praising. Amen, hallelujah. And you going around eating, violating the law, the dietary laws. You understand me? See, so y'all don't understand this political game. You understand me? But these politicians know who we are as a nation, as a people. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. In fact, let me get I'm gonna hold that. Let me go to Deuteronomy 29, and I'm gonna get verse 24. Deuteronomy 29, verse 24. Even all nations, listen, even all nations shall say, wherefore the Lord hath done unto this land. What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Because as them events take place in what we know as Israel, the Middle East, because you had Hamas now been firing rockets into Israel. You understand? That's what he's talking about. See, so these political events going to play out against Israel. But understand, Israel and America is one kingdom. You understand me? This is the kingdom of Esau. You understand? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read that again, verse 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this land? What meaneth the heat of of his great anger. Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth from out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land. See, so that's why that land of Israel is going through what it's going through. It's been trampled down by the Gentiles until that time is being fulfilled. And that time is being fulfilled when you go to Luke what? 21. You understand me? Gentiles gonna be Israel gonna be conquering the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles. And we're gonna be led captive into all nations. You understand me? See, so all these nations already know we the children of Israel through biblical prophecy. Because the Rothschild funded the slave trade. You understand me? These Christian pastors, they already know who we are as a nation, as a people. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Verse 27. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into other land as it is to this day. Meaning that we are in other people's lands until this day. See, so I'm not with America. I don't give a fuck about America. You understand me? I'm here in America living, but I'm waiting on that second Exodus because this is not my land. You understand me? This is the land of Esau. You understand me? But yet, we are under these curses. Although we are redeemed, because Yahweh redeemed us from the curse of the law. You understand me? But yet, these curses are still being played out. You understand me? Despite of being redeemed. But you're going to have some that are redeemed, and you're going to have some Israelites that are going to feel these curses of Illuminati. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand, they already know who we are as a nation and as a people. You understand me? Let me get Psalms 44, I was holding, and 14. Psalms 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword amongst the heathen, and shaking of the head amongst the people. Meaning that all these nations look at the African Americans or niggas here in America and they shake their head. Because look how we talk, look how we act. You understand me? No matter where you go, you're gonna see African Americans acting out. You understand me? Black on black crime. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that America is not racist. Because every day that you wake up, the only time you deal with that white man is when he comes to government benefits and you breaking the law. You understand me? Or you may have a bench warrant or something, so you ducking the police. So you fearful of the police. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand that other nations look at us and shake their head because they know that we are the children of Israel. So they have empathy. You understand me? Same thing with Hoko, same thing with these politicians. They look at you and look at us and exploit the black community and say they hopeless. These are the children of Israel. You understand me? See, so whoever rule over the children of Israel, the so-called African Americans, they have power. And Yahweh gave them the power to rule over the children of Israel. That's why y'all don't understand this game. America not racist. Y'all got to understand biblical prophecy. Y'all got to understand biblical scriptures because this has to be taught to you. You understand me? Let me get 1 Kings. Let me go to 1 Kings 9-7. 1 Kings chapter 9 verse 7. Then I will cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name. I will cast out my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword amongst the people. You understand me? See, so we were sifted amongst the people. We are bywords and proverbs, meaning that to this day you're going to hear black, brown, colored, gentleman, young man. When you say you are Israelite, people gonna look at you like you crazy. The Israelites, they ain't here no more. You talking about Benjamin Netanyahu over there? They not the real Israelites though. We are the real Israelites, huh? Because understand, the name was stripped out of the history books. You understand me? You will not see the African American Black History. Let's say go to Black History Month. When you go to Black History Month, the niggas, Black America history started from the transatlantic slave trade. Now you're gonna hear stories about we were once kings and queens, and that's bullshit. You understand me? We were never kings and queens. That's bullshit. You understand me? We've been enslaved from Egypt all the way to America. And we've been enslaved throughout our whole life. We've been in captivity throughout our whole history when you go back. You understand me? I'm gonna hold that. Let me get Jeremiah. Let me get 51 and let me go to 49. Jeremiah 51 verse 49. As Babylon had caused the slang of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slang of all the earth. Why? Because it been in the cup in the Lord's hand. That been the golden cup in the Lord's hand for a long time, and all nations fell to that this system. You understand me? Let me get let me go to 51 and let me go to 7. Jeremiah 51 verse 40, Shalaki. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. You understand me? See, so all the earth been drunken off this Babylonian system. You understand me? So this system is going to get put to an end. Let's go back to Psalms 44. Psalms 44 verse 14. Thou makest us a byword amongst the heathen, and shaking of the head amongst the people. You understand me? See, so understand that Israel was put into slavery. See, so brown, black, all these bywords and proverbs are substitution for our nationalities. You understand me? See, so these politicians already know that. See, so when they say the Northern Kingdom, they talking about brown people. When they say black, they talking about the Southern Kingdom. You understand me? When they talking about other nations of color, they talking about these other nations that's across the seas, that's across the waters, that's going to come over here. You understand me? See, so y'all have to understand the political game, the terminology that they use. America not a racist, but you lack understanding, so you fall victim and you end up with nothing. You understand me? Because what happens is that America racist, you give up everything to the government take around and get the immigrants to reap the benefits of America, and then you end up with nothing. So now it's going to be a great cry amongst the brethren of the Jews. Why? Because y'all put these people in the power and they turned around and did nothing for you, but yet they enslaved you through legislation. You fell victim to the skin color. Hey, it is what it is, you understand? Y'all fell victim to the skin color because, see, these politicians already know that we are the children of Israel. You understand me? See, they already know. See, so the acts that's what committed against us is not racist. You understand me? It's just that the fact is that they know. Let me get Jeremiah. Let me get Jeremiah. Let me get Jeremiah 24, and let me go to 9. Jeremiah 24 verse 9. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, for their hurt to be a reproach and a proverb and taunt and a curse in all places where I shall driven them. And them curses going to be with us forever. My kids, your great grandkids, your great grandkids, your great grandkids, and your great grandkids, and so forth. You understand me? It is what it is. Verse 10. And I will send a sword and famine and pestilence. Now, when you say that sword, he's talking about not the white man, but he's talking about the system of the so-called white man of Esau. You understand me? That famine is economically. And then when wars take place, you have supply and chain demand shortage. You understand me? The cutting off of SNAP benefits. You understand me? The cutting off of Section 8 and housing. Do you understand? Let's read verse 10 again. And I will send the sword, the famine, and pestilence. And that pestilence is that you go in the black community, you got HIV, AIDS, herpes is heavy in the black community. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that the things that's taking place here in America is not racist. The white men already know that we are the children of Israel. So they're going to complete his prophecy. They're going to fulfill his prophecies. They're going to fulfill the curses that's in this book. You understand me? See, so So the transatlantic slave trade and the things that took place in the Jim Crow era and after the Jim Crow era, the 94 crime bill, even though it target the so-called African Americans, the children of Israel, who we are, yeah, at the end of the day, America's not racist. Y'all don't understand this political game and the way the game is being played. Let's read verse 10 again. And I will send the sword, the famine, and pestilence among them till they be consumed from off the land that I give unto them and to their fathers. And to this day we're gonna be consumed, meaning that these Gentiles, religious and philosophical groups gonna consume you and to destroy you. You understand me? To where you're not an Israelite anymore. That's why it's about the elect of the nationality, because the nationality of Israel has been stripped out of the history books. See, so these nations already know that we are the children of Israel. You understand me? They already know. Do you understand me? And that slave trade is not racist. You understand me? It is what it is. Let me go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 47 and finish that up. Deuteronomy 28 verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and the want of all things. Now when you say nakedness, meaning that you don't have no clothes on, you don't have no hope, you don't have no salvation, you don't have no life. You're just straight naked open. You understand me? You don't have no foundation, you don't have no wall to stand on, you don't have nothing. Do you understand me? It is what it is. And the one of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Meaning that, again, those chains and those wheels was to take away your nationality or wipe out your nationality of who you are. So you're not an Israelite anymore. You're an African American. You're a nigger. You're a black man. You're a colored person. You're a brown person. You understand me? All those are substitutions for who we are as a nation, as a people. See, these politicians already know this game. You understand me? Let's finish up. Verse 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from one end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And what he's talking about is talking about English, because see, understand, Anglo-Saxons gave birth forth to help bring birth to English to this day. You understand me? See, so when it came over here on the transatlantic slave trade, when they say the so-called white man stopped us from reading, that's a lie. Because see, the children of Israel, we already knew how to read, we already knew how to write. You understand me? Because knowledge been around for years. Y'all don't understand slavery. Do you understand me? Slavery does not deal with skin color. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand, when the Israelites came over here in America, they didn't learn English, because that was the dominant language that was being that became dominant after the Latin. You understand me? See, so to learn English, we'll wake up and understand who we are. So to keep you from waking up, they stopped your ass from reading. Now, was you dumb and stupid? No, you wasn't dumb and stupid, because we already spoke the Paleo, Syrian, Hebrew, and other African languages. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so we always had knowledge. You understand me? We already knew how to read. But y'all have to go back and understand the Renaissance and the rebirth of literature. You understand me? The replacement theology. You understand me? See, so when you strip Israel out of their heritage, you're going into the Renaissance period. You understand me? Where they no longer look at us as Israelites. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Verse 50. A nation of fierce continuance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of that kind. Now when it says increase, talking about capitalism. Or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high fence wall come down, wherein thou trusted with throughout all thy land. And we're talking about them high fences and walls. We're talking about those religious philosophy, those religious ideology gonna come to a close. You understand me? They're gonna fall. You understand me? I'm gonna give you an example. Say like when these events take place, ain't no white man coming out of the sky. So what happened is that y'all gonna die waiting. And then if you still living, then you're gonna realize that there is no white man coming out of the sky. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read that again, verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down. That pride, your religious belief, think you know it all. All that shit gonna come to a close. You understand me? Wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord have given thee. You understand me? And what he talking about? Eating the fruit of your land and taking everything. He's talking about socialism. Talking about these policies and regulations that's in place. That's going to take everything that you got. You understand me? Go back into Lamentations 4. They hunt our steps. You can't go into the streets. You can't practice capitalism because the government is right there waiting to take everything that you got. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so y'all have to understand this economic war. Y'all have to understand this political game because we are in a war. Not only America is in a war, you understand me, but Yahweh God, the children of Israel, we're in a war against the world, and the world is against us. Yet, it's going to be played out through America and these politicians. You understand me? That's why you have to be taught these scriptures. That's why you have to be taught and understand what y'all looking at. That's why I'm not negligent to put y'all in the politics and religion. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Let me go into Proverbs 1 right quick. And let me have 6. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 6, but let me start at 5. Verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase his learning. A man of understanding shall obtain unto the wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark saying, because this book is closed. You understand me? So these system, political, and astronomical events play out, some gonna be purified and made white, and some gonna understand, and some not gonna understand. Some gonna wake up, and some still gonna be asleep. You understand me? That because you woke, you still asleep. You understand me? Because that wokeness is nothing but bullshit. You understand me? You still asleep. You still captive to the religious philosophy, not the philosophy, but the religious, the philosophical governance system, democracy. Y'all still captive to that. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. You understand? See, so understand that. And I had what? Deuteronomy 28 and I had 68. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now Egypt is bondage, so you're not talking about that geographical location. You understand me? American is Egypt. You understand me? Egypt is bondage, and we are in bondage. Religiously, economically, and politically, culturally, etc. You understand me? I told you all, y'all think y'all know the Bible, but you really don't know. You understand me? Do you understand? Y'all don't know the Bible. Although you have religious teachings, you done read Joe Erskine, you done read Food for Thought, you done read the daily pamphlet, you done went to Bible study and revival meetings. At the end of the day, you don't understand the Bible because this book is closed. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. And he's not with your pastor, and he's not into these synagogues, he's not into the churches. Because even though you have a pastor, your pastor go to that church is still related to the government. Because it's a religious governance system, politically known as democracy. You understand? See, let's read verse 68 again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy for bondsman and bondswoman. And no man shall buy you. Meaning that nobody going to bring you out of economic enslavement. Nobody going to bring you out of bondage. Martin Luther King didn't bring you out of bondage. What Martin Luther King did was led y'all to the Democrat plantation. You understand me? Malcolm X didn't do it. Maya Angelou didn't do it. Al Sharpton ain't gonna do it. Barack Obama ain't gonna do it. You understand me? And I don't care what black civil rights leader you put into power or that you resurrect. At the end of the day, nobody gonna get you out of this. You understand me? The only one gonna get you out is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You understand me? Other than that, ain't nobody gonna get you that. You're gonna stay in the slavery. You're gonna stay under these curses until that time come to pass. You understand me? And we were sold to slavery. Now you are been sold for votes. You are, because see, you are wealthy to the black people are wealthy to the politicians. Because see, again, like I stated before, other nations pay politicians. The black people, they don't pay politicians. Politicians give the black people money, and in return, the black people get their votes. You understand me? So they sell you to the next politician, to the next politician, and to the next politician. You understand me? They sell y'all for votes. Hey, it is what it is. You understand me? See, so understand that the slave trade is not racist. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so you got policies and legislations that's in place that's going to take everything that you got. And those social and those regulations and policies is what we known as, in the country of America, bureaucracy. In other countries, communism. Globally, socialism. You understand me? It is what it is. See, y'all. See, I told you y'all don't understand this game. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Let me get Isaiah. Let me go to Isaiah 22. And then let me get Zechariah. I'm gonna go into Zechariah. Let me get Zechariah 17. I mean Shalaki, not Zechariah 17, but Zechariah 7 and 14. Isaiah 22, verse 17. Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity. He will surely cover thee. He will surely violently toss thee like a ball into a large country. There thou shalt die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be ashamed of the Lord's house. And we're talking about Lord's house, meaning the children of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel went into slavery because they rejected the commandments and followed other nations. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. So he put their ass into slavery. You understand me? See, so understand that the slave trade, slavery, is not considered racist. It's not racist. You understand me? Slavery is not a racist thing. It's a part of life. It's what life is based on. The kingdom is based on slavery. Zechariah chapter 7 verse 14. But I will scatter them with a whirlwind amongst the nations, whom they knew not. You understand me? See, so we were scattered amongst the nations who we know not. See, so understand at the end of the day, these politicians know that we are the children of Israel through biblical prophecy. You understand me? See, so the acts that's committed against her, I'll play it out. I'll record it in this book. You understand me? That's why America not racist. You understand me? See, so racism don't exist. You understand me? It exists through the indoctrination. You understand me? Because life is based on slavery. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Let me go into let me get Malachi 3 and 5 right quick. No, Shalaki Malachi 3, and let me get Malachi 3 and 2, and then let me get Deuteronomy. Let me get Deuteronomy 31, and I'm gonna start at, I want 18, but I'm gonna start at 31. Malachi chapter 3 verse 4. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he would not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doing. meaning that he hid his face when it came time for that transatlantic slave trade. You understand me? He hid his face because Israel rejected him, so he rejected Israel. You understand me? So you got kumbaya. You understand me? See, so you got a lot of these spiritual songs that the children of Israel sing to this day inside these churches, sing to God. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand, he just turned his back. Same thing with Yahweh Shai. Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Because Yahweh God turned his back on sin. You understand me? He hid his face from sin. Because see, understand, sin separation from Yahweh God. And a lot of you all are separated through religious teachings because y'all religious teachers, y'all sinning. And the sin that y'all are committing is idolization. I told you all, y'all like understanding of the Bible. Y'all don't know the Bible. You understand me? It is what it is. Deuteronomy 31 verse 17. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them. So they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us? Because our God is not amongst us. And to this day, a lot of them say that, oh, we are the children of Israel waking up now. Because all these events is taking place. You understand me? Because when he spit his arrows, they're gonna go and accomplish what he spoken. You understand me? It is what it is. It's not gonna come back void. Like how he told Adam, the day you eat, you're gonna die. Did Adam die that day? No, but as time passed, he eventually died. Physically. You understand me? Verse 18. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they have wrought in that they are turned unto other gods. Meaning that he put us in the hands of the Gentile nations. So we are in the hands of the Gentile nations. We are in the hands of the foolish nation that is over us because of idolization, because of the rejecting of the commandments. You understand me? Let me get Psalms, I think Psalms what, 106? And then let me get down to verse 34. Psalms 106 verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commended them, but were mingled amongst the heathen, and learnt their works, and served their idols, which was a snare to them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and daughters. And he's talking about child sacrifices. And to this day, y'all child sacrifice when y'all go and abort y'all babies. But yet the policies or whatever that's on the ticket, child sacrifices in modern terminology is called abortion. You understand me? So y'all have to understand the views of America, the views of the Democrats, the views violates the commandments. Do you understand me? The statutes and the ordinance. See, the church don't teach y'all and go into detail as to what y'all worshiping so that y'all can get an understanding and grow. Y'all grow in philosophy. Y'all grow in religious teachings. Y'all never grow and learn the Bible. So y'all die outside of your faith. That's why Yahweh Shai say what? He said in Matthew, we preached in your name, teached in your name, and healed in your name. And at the end of the day, the same Jesus who don't exist say he don't even know you. You understand me? He don't even know you despite of your religious teachings and all your works that you've done. Because that was nothing but emptiness. You understand me? He don't know you, because to know Yahweh God is to know the commandments. To know the commandments is Yahweh God. And you will know about idolization. You understand me? Because he don't give no praises to no other God. Because he's a jealous God. You understand me? Let's go back to I'm gonna finish up that, but let's go back to she's a jealous God. Let's go back to Deuteronomy, and let me get Deuteronomy 31, and let me get 21. Deuteronomy 31 verse 21. They move me to jealousy, that which is not of Yahweh God. They provoke me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. You understand me? And we are angry with Esau. You understand me? Let's finish up. Psalms 106 verse 39. Shalaki, let's go to verse 40. Verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. Listen, he hated his own inheritance, so he gave them into the hands of the heathens. Listen, and he gave them into the hands of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. So all nations ruled over, that hated us ruled over the children of Israel. Throughout history, you had nations that ruled over the children of Israel. David is going to be king again. You understand me? So y'all have to understand the remnant. Y'all have to understand biblical prophecy. Y'all have to understand the nature of Yahweh Shai coming. Y'all have to understand certain things, and certain things y'all not taught, because the church don't teach you the things that y'all need to know. You understand me? So that you can grow and understand what you worshiping. You understand? It is what it is. Verse 42. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought low into subjection under their hands. And we was brought low. You understand me? And they oppress us to this day. They oppress us with legislations, with black hole laws, with these policies. You understand me? With these movements. They oppress us. They make a mockery out of us, out of Yahweh God. You understand me? They put an end to the Israelites. They put an end to the so-called African Americans here in America. Why? Because they got the black men turning into women, and they got the women into men. And that's a false balance, and the false balance is abomination. You understand me? Y'all have to see the views and the ideology of the government. Do you understand me? Because they are against, you understand? Understand the government is against Yahweh God, and Yahweh God is against the government. Do you understand me? See, so understand that life is based on slavery. You understand me? And what we went through is not slavery, because the kingdom is reverse slavery. Do you understand me? Let me get in the Apocrypha. Let me get on the Apocrypha. Let me go to 2nd Ezra. And I'm gonna go ahead on into 2nd Ezra 6. And I'm gonna start, I want 55, but I'm gonna start at 54 so we get a better understanding. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these Adam also come, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Meaning everybody came out of Adam, and out of all these people he chose one specific nation. You understand me? And that's not racist. You understand me? Even though in man's political spectrum, favoritism, respected persons, yet that's not a respected persons by choosing one nation. You understand me? Like capitalism. Capitalism is profit and production. For me, operation and mean for production and profit, right? Meaning that I can own, when I own my own store, I can hire who I want to hire, and I can pay who I want to pay. You understand me? It is what it is, and that's not racist. But to the political spectrum of man and this ideology, philosophical views, that's racism. You understand me? It is what it is. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Listen, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people which are come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing but like unto spittle, meaning that all the other nations are spit to God. The only thing that Yahweh God care about, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, is the 12 tribes. This is the apple of God's eye. This is the kingdom. The kingdom is a divine governing system. The commandments governs a body of people. The commandment was given to these 12 tribes, and these 12 tribes is going to rule this world. We're going to enslave this world through the commandments, because y'all going to learn to be obedient. Do you understand me? Y'all going to worship Yahweh God. Y'all going to learn. And we, the 12 tribes, going to enslave you all, because life is based on slavery. The kingdom is reverse slavery. You understand me? Like we was in bondage in Egypt. You understand me? We've been in bondage in Babylon, in the Syrian, and here in America. All y'all nations, when y'all call the name of the Lord, y'all going into slavery. You understand me? That's not racist. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read 55. Let's read 55 again. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. As for other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing but like unto spittle, and hast likened abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from the vessel. Verse 57. Now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be Lord over us. And Lord means the power of authority. That's the title. You understand me? See, we supposed to be exercising lordship over the Gentiles. But yet, the Gentile exercise lordship over us through the rejection of the commandments. You understand me? So he wiped their name out of the history books. Verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, the only begotten and the fervent lover, are given into the hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Meaning, how long we going to be without, because the world was made for us to rule. You understand me? Like the Middle East right now, whoever controls the Middle East controls the world. Why? Because they control all major routes through the Middle East. From east to west, north to south, come through the Middle East. You understand me? See, so understand that we, the children of Israel, the divine governing system, the kingdom is reverse slavery. You understand me? See, so understand. The Edomites, the so-called white man, was enslaved by the children of Israel, and now the children of Israel is enslaved by the white man. It's the roles reversed it in time because of biblical prophecy. You understand me? Because of biblical prophecy. And in fact, let me go into 2 Chronicles. Let me get 2 Chronicles 21. Let me get 2 Chronicles 21 and 10. And let me get 2 Kings 8 and 20. And 2 Kings 8 and 20. Second Chronicles 21 verse 10. So the Edomites revolted under the hand of Judah until this day. The same time also did Libnah revolted under the hand, because they have forsaken the Lord, Yahweh God of their fathers. Meaning that when Israel turned from the commandments, that's when Judah revolted. You understand me? Judah revolted, meaning that some of the Edomites went to Egypt and got on Egypt's side and attacked the Israelites. You understand me? It is what it is. 2 Kings chapter 8 verse 20. In his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. Meaning that they went and selected their own king over them instead of David. David had enslaved them, Saul enslaved them. You understand me? So but when Judah turned his back on the commandment, that's when Judah revolted. You understand me? Because that's biblical prophecy. You understand me? See, everything that's taking place that you're looking at in the media, are the commandments being played out? Yeah, you can see Yahweh prophecies are being played out. Not Yahweh prophecies, Shalaki. It's prophecy, but you can see that prophecy, that specific prophecy with Abraham being played out. You understand me? It is what it is. Let me go into Genesis. I think what, 27? Let me get Genesis 27, and let me have 38. Genesis 27 verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and he wept. Meaning that even though Esau cried, but he has no hope. He sold his birthright. You understand me? For a bowl of soup. He has no hope, despite of his repentance. Esau has no hope. Yahweh God hate Esau to this day. Now, a lot of Israelites get it mixed up and confused, or they say that, oh, he loved the white man. No, he don't. Because at the end of the day, hated is a past tense, meaning that he hated Esau to this day. Why? Because it was written long time ago in the writings of Moses. He hated Esau. That goes back into the prophecies of Sarah. You understand me? Esau and Jacob. So he hated Jacob. Y'all have to understand this whole game. To this day, he still hate Jacob. You know what I mean? Not Jacob Shalaki. He hate Esau to this day. You understand me? Because see, Esau represents the physical nature. You understand me? Of man. And Jacob represents the divine nature of man, of Yahweh God, because they fought for that covenant, but Yahweh God was into that fight. But we're going to get into these things too, so y'all can get an understanding. You understand me? It is what it is. Let's read verse 38 again. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. Listen, and by the sword thou shalt live and serve thy brother. You know what I mean? Understand me? Now let's go back to 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling should be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And what he talking about is a portion of the earth, because see, all the inhabitants, the Cushites and all of them, the Moabites already had their land already. So what he talking about is America, what we know today as America, and Eastern and Western Europe. You understand me? That's the fatness of the earth. You understand me? Because the Moabites, God, God, everybody was already settled into their land. You understand me? The Babylonian or that region was already had nations already there. You understand me? See, so understand, he's talking about the Roman Empire. He's talking about America. Because see, understand, Zepho is the great grandson of Esau. You understand me? He took on that title Uranus. What? First king of Judah. I mean, not the first king of Rome. You understand me? He took on Romulus, the first king, because that was promised to him by Jupiter. You understand me? Because he understand the Romans and the Babylonians now, even to this day, y'all Gregorian calendar is based on a planetary system. Y'all planet worshipers. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand the fatness of the earth. We talking about the Roman Empire. You understand me? And what we known as America. You understand? Let's read that again. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And when he says that sword, now you can go through. When he says that sword, he's not actually talking about an actual sword, even though the sword is an actual instrument, but it's symbolic. You understand me? And he's symbolic for that what? System. You understand me? This political, religious system, economic system that's going to destroy you. You understand me? That's going to kill you. You understand? Religiously, politically, economically, culturally, etc. You understand me? Verse 40. And by the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. See, so understand that Esau served Jacob. Saul enslaved Esau and his people. David enslaved Esau and his people. But when the children of Israel left from the commandment, that's when the nation of Esau revolted, even to this day. So now the roles are flipped now. We are enslaved to Esau people. You understand me? See, so slavery ain't nothing new. Slavery do not deal with skin color. You understand me? So America is not a racist country. You understand me? 40 again. And by the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Meaning that that time going to came when Esau revolted. So now he no longer enslaved to Esau people. Is no longer enslaved to the Israelites. The Israelites going to be enslaved to the Edomites. Why? Because Jupiter promised Zepho of empire. You understand me? And that promises of that empire from Jupiter and all that goes back into the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were the blessings of Jacob and not Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Not, Esau and Jacob. Shalaki, I'm getting them, the father and son, Esau and Jacob, Jacob and Esau. Put it like that. Shalaki, y'all. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that Jupiter was promised to Esau. You understand me? And he took on that name. Zepho started the Roman Empire, the great grandson of Esau. You understand me? See, so understand that America is not racist. It's just that the roles are flipped. Because the kingdom is based on slavery, because life is based on enslavement. One nation enslave another nation. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me get Amos 9 and 11. Amos chapter 9 verse 11. And in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess, listen, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathens which are called by my name, said the Lord that does it. Meaning that y'all going into slavery. You understand me? Listen to what Yahweh Shai say in the book of Mark. Let me get Mark 10th chapter. Let me get Mark 10 and I think what, 42. Mark chapter 10 verse 42. Yahweh called them to him and said unto them, you know that ye which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and the great ones exercise authority upon them, meaning that y'all going into slavery. You understand me? It is what it is. You understand me? Y'all going into slavery, and that's what life is based on, slavery. You understand? Let me go to Isaiah 54, let me get to verse 3. Isaiah 54 verse 3. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolated cities to be inhabited. Meaning that y'all going into slavery, y'all are going to rebuild. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand. Now let's go to Isaiah 55 and let me go to 11. Isaiah 55 verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it will accomplish that which I please. It shall prosper in the things whereunto I send it to. Meaning that he sent them prophecies here in America. He sent them on that slave ship. You understand me? At the end of the day, America not racist. Yahweh God is not a respect of persons. Because the closest you're going to get to racism is a respect of persons. And Yahweh God going to give every man according to what they deserve. That's why Paul say uncircumcision and circumcision is nothing, but it's about obedience, the keeping of the commandments. You understand me? Because everybody going to get what they deserve. You understand me? See, so Yahweh God is not a respect of persons, and at the end of the day, philosophically, Yahweh God is not racist. That's a lie. Racism don't exist, and America is not racist. And when they say America is racist, they're not talking about skin color. When they say America is racist, they're talking about the system of America. You understand me? It's an attack against the capitalists. It's an attack against the labor system of America. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so y'all have to learn and understand. You know what I mean? That the Gentiles, y'all going into slavery. You understand me? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, y'all going into slavery. Let me get one more before I end it. Let's go to the book of Psalms 2. And I'm going to get verse 8. Psalms chapter 2 verse 8. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Meaning that y'all going into slavery. You understand me? Because see, life is based on slavery. You understand me? It's just that the roles are reversed right now. But yet, at the end of the day, when this earth comes to a close, the nation of Esau, his family, his blood, not his bloodline, but his offspring, they going into slavery. Because everything is based on Yahweh God's covenant of Esau and Jacob. Y'all don't understand biblical prophecy. The things, the acts that was committed by the so-called white man in America is not racist. Being beaten, hung, that 94 crime bill, even though it target us, yet these acts let you know and understand, if you see beyond the acts, that we are the children of Israel, and the government already know who we are. Learn what y'all worshiping.